Hello, everyone. My name is Khachig Kabakjian. I'm a computer engineer by education, but I've been in the beautiful world of marketing technology and customer engagement long enough to call it my area of expertise. I've lived and worked in many countries, including Syria, Saudi Arabia, Australia, and recently in Singapore, where I try to help organizations move from being product centric to become customer centric. So my passion is customer centricity, and this is the topic of my talk today. Let me start by talking a little bit about MarTech. So if you've ever heard of marketing technology or MarTech, in the good old days, think about we used to print out brochures, or we used to print out ads in newspapers, or we used to put nice ads on TV. However, the marketing technology developed so much in the last decade or two, and it moved into things like sending emails to customers or showing things on your mobile phone or displaying something inside your Facebook, your Instagram, and so on and so forth. So marketing technology is that amazing capability that sits between your product, any kind of product or service that you provide in any kind of industry, and your end consumer or your end user or your customer. So it basically puts the right brand, the right message, and the right product in front of your customer at any point in time, which is an amazing thing to do if you want to expand and grow and sell and make a lot of profit. Now, let's take a journey back in time and think about how marketing used to happen, okay, across any organization, by the way. I'll pick, of course, banking. This is where I spent many, many years of my life, and I'll use that as a good example today. Now, think about a product inside any bank, let's say a credit card. What they used to do in marketing is a product manager will come and say, hey, guys, I have a new credit card that I want to sell, or I want to put an offer for. Now, when they start with that, they say, how many customers can I target? I can look at the entire customer base or some potential prospects who can buy that credit card or purchase the credit card. Then we can try to select, put some conditions and say customers over a certain age or don't have the card, etc., etc. And then build a predefined journey, which means on a certain day, I'm going to send an email to everyone. And then I'll wait for a week or so, and then I'll follow up with a call, or maybe I'll follow up with an SMS. And then when they design that campaign, there will be always what we call a Christmas day, right? Somebody will press a button and boom, you will spray a massive list of emails or messages that will go out to every customer. Now, just imagine for that moment, all customers on that particular day will need a credit card? Probably not. So by any chance, you might hit maybe 1% or 2% of the entire base you try to target. But that's only a lucky guess, okay? Now imagine what happens when you bring in another product and a third product. So within any organization, when you start planning your marketing activities this way, what will happen is you're literally trying to fish in the ocean, right? You throw a net and you just try to get lucky, okay? No thinking about what customers need or how they what is it exactly that they're going through, and do they really need that particular product or service at any point in time? Now, why customer centricity then? Where is this coming from, or why is it coming from? Now, I'll use a very interesting example, and I'm assuming most of you would know Airbnb, okay? Airbnb is a platform that, in my opinion, probably embodies customer centricity, okay, significantly, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But just think for a second how you use Airbnb today. You basically open the website, you put in, let's say I'm going to, I don't know, France, Paris, okay? I'm going for a week, and I put my dates and the number of people. Now, just imagine for a moment that previous example of mass marketing. Imagine that the program comes back saying, or the website comes back saying, okay, here is some good offers in, I don't know, Japan, okay, for the month of December for 2 people. And you just said, I want to go to Paris in July for 6 people. Just imagine that segment, what we call segment-based targeting, the experience would have been extremely terrible for you as a customer. Now, what we've done is basically we've used what we call now in the world of marketing technology centralized decisioning. What we did is we provided the engine by some data. when are you traveling? Where are you traveling? How many people are going there? Are there any filters? Do I like to have an air condition or a laundry machine, and so on and so forth? I added some analytics to that. So I put, or maybe the platform can look at my travel history. They can look at my preferences. They can look at who I am if I have a profile. What was my feedback on the last time I traveled? Or maybe even things like predictive models. So people like me, what have they booked before? And then this goes into that decisioning brain, that central brain that makes amazing decisions, okay, on what to present that customer using that data, the analytics, the properties that I provide, that we have on the platform, and then use all that in real time and provide a one-to-one response to the customer. And then the absolute outcome will be, for me as a customer, if I love what I'm presented with, I will book, I will review that property after I stay there, and then rebook again, and then try to use the same platform for some service requests, and then eventually the platform will grow. And there's a lot, kind of a cycle of learn and continuous learning and adapt and improve over time. Just think for a moment, it's the exact same experience that goes in Airbnb, goes into Uber, goes into Netflix, goes into booking.com, goes into Amazon. All these platforms have invested simply in customer centricity, in being providers for excellent customer experience. Okay. None of them runs. Uber doesn't own taxi cars, or Netflix doesn't run its own cinema theaters, or Airbnb doesn't own houses. They just invested in customer centricity as an idea. Okay. Now, what's next? You can imagine, and this is not a secret anymore, we're moving from that centralized decisioning into the next level where I can talk to an engine and say, hey, maybe suggest a trip for me, okay, where I want to spend roughly around a couple of $1,000 somewhere in Europe, sometimes this summer. Okay, so very basic information. And then that platform will come and put full plan in front of me, not just the property or not just the best available taxi car, but an entire experience end to end. Okay, now, why customer decisioning? And this whole concept of having customer centricity relies heavily on customer decisioning. Now, I'll love to use this example, which is, I hope, will be very relevant. If you know football, okay, or soccer, depending on what part of the world you're from, you will know that this is a game that lasts 90 minutes, okay? Now, if you think about it, the players on the pitch, there are 22 players, so 11 in each team, which means on average, every player will probably get the ball for 4 minutes, okay? Now, what matters is what you do in the remaining 86 minutes. And that's the majority of the game. Now, what you do in that time basically makes or breaks any game. And if I put that and reflect it on, for example, in my industry where I'm in banking, customer engagement in banking, what matters at that moment in time is what I really do when customers are not actively shopping for products. Just think for a moment, if you're a customer in the bank, not every time you log into your app, to your mobile app, or not every time you log into your internet banking, you're actually trying to purchase a new card or open a new account, right? You're doing your finances, you're doing transactions, you're paying a bill. The last thing you want is that continuous boom, 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 right? Non-stop selling messages in your face. So what matters again and again is what we do in the majority of time where customers are not really actively shopping for products from us as an organization. Now, how that happens, or the concept behind it, is very simple. We don't start from a product. We basically start from a customer. Okay, so the first thing we do is we look at the customer and every single data point we have about that customer. And then from there, we bring every possible conversation or topic or banner or nudge or what I love to call a next best action, okay, that we can have with that customer. So it could be a product. It could be, as you can see on the image, even something like a happy birthday message to that customer. And we take them through multiple layers of business rules and analytics and machine learning and AI. So we go through all the business rules about eligibility. We score every conversation. We look at customer channel preferences. And then just imagine a waterfall of maybe a catalog of 500 next best conversations. And we bring that down maybe to the last 20 or 30 top ones that we can talk to the customer about. And then we rank the list and then we try to communicate only the top winning next best action or next best conversation to the customer. Now, when we do that, we are highly likely to hit the target to make sure that we present something really relevant to that customer, okay, at this point in time on that particular channel. Now, the concept behind customer decisioning or the vision is very simple. You should have an engine in your organization that every customer can be served through, including existing and new to bank customers or new to organization customers. It should be mostly in real time. Okay, of course, sometimes we don't have all the data, but mostly should be in real time. Every channel should be orchestrated through that brain, through that centralized decisioning. Every product, every nudge, every offer, every reminder should be funneled through the same communication channel. And then all the time, this brain is continuously learning. It's a 24/7, it's an always learning and adapting brain, which is the most important part of this technology. Now, customer engagement, of course, it has to be what I love to call a lovely one or a loved one. And what that means is, just think for a moment, is that we need to shift how customer engagement happens today, where, and my good example is always, you go to Google and you search for something. Okay, maybe you're buying a new watch, and then you log into your social account, to your Instagram, to your Facebook, etc. And what you see on the right side, literally after minutes, that spooky behavior that says, oh, here is the watch that you just searched for. I have an offer for that. Okay, this is really not, there's no smart in this. There's literally a spooky behavior of saying, you did something, here is something against it that is not relevant, probably is just spamming you, okay, at that point in time. What I would love to move into is basically something like this. So I'm a customer of a ABC fictitious bank. I'm in the airport, and then the bank realizes that I'm eligible for free travel insurance, or even if it's not free, then you see the third message that I have on the screen on the right is a reminder to activate my travel insurance. Very relevant, very timely, very customer centric. Okay, this kind of the shift in behavior, probably from that spooky spam into what's relevant, what's important, and what's timely to me, makes or breaks everything at this point in time. Now, just think for a moment, again, using a bank, you have so many conversations, you have so many products, and moving from spamming the customer, would you like a credit card or mortgage or saving account or unit trust? Just think I'm non-stop, bam, 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 things in front of me, okay, which is usually confusing, and most likely is going to end up by me saying, no more emails, no more push notifications, stop, I'm not interested. But the idea is very simple. If you remove the noise, if you remove all these noise from that customer, you simply have the clarity. If you have only one thing to put in front of the customer, and that thing is timely, is relevant, and is important, I think is the best part, or the best outcome naturally comes out, which is customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, and eventually the customer stays with us as an organization and invest and grow, okay, our business. Now, to wrap up, how's this possible? Obviously, you will hear some of these terms, okay, that you can see on the screen. So you might hear about platforms, and there are so many softwares and platforms doing that today. You can hear something around real-time interaction management. You can hear the term next best action. You can hear about customer decisioning. You can hear about machine learning and artificial intelligence. You can hear about personalization or one-on-one customer engagement, and many, many more terms. But in my view, customer centricity is the future. Customer centricity is what we should be moving into. Stop spamming customers and really present what's relevant and important to them at any point in time. It's contextual, it's being proven. I think there's only one way forward, and this is what we should be moving into. I hope this all makes sense. Thank you so much for your time. And if you have any questions, or feel free to reach out and ask about this further. It's a beautiful world, exciting in the marketing technology. And yeah, looking forward to talk to you more.